What's up, guys? In this video, we're going to talk about everything you can possibly ever need as far as how to do stuff in pressure washing, how to start pressure washing, how to build a little $300 Softwash system, where to go to buy parts and stuff like that. This video is going to cover it all. It could be a 3-hour video, so just be prepared. This is going to be a very long video, almost like basically a free course. So hit the like button for all this free information you're about to get, and I'll see you in the next one. Everything you need to know to start a local service business. The first thing you need to understand is any local service business has 4 main inputs that give them output, which is money, which is being able to get money. 4 main inputs. The first one that you need to figure out is your area of business, your AOB. This is the first thing you need to figure out. Also, people call it their service area. Where do you want your business to service? You don't want to just market to the whole United States, and you also don't want to just service, like my hometown only has like 10 or 12,000 people in it, one red light. Not a good service area. Not a lot of money there. Choose your service area. Make a center point and be like, maybe you want to do within an hour, 30 minutes, 2 hours of your house. Choose your service area and make sure there's enough people to market to be able to bring in money. If there's not enough people, I'm sorry, you're probably going to have to travel to like a metropolitan area or an area that has more people than where you are if you're just in the middle of nowhere on a farm. You know what I'm saying? The second input that service businesses need is volume. What really matters for volume is how many ads, how many impressions are you getting compared to the population of your AOB. So if there is 1 million people, are you putting out 5,000 flyers minimum a month in select areas of your service area that have maybe higher income? How many yard signs are you putting out a day or a month or a week? How many impressions are you putting out relative to the population to bring in volume for your business? I'm sorry, but if you are only getting 1 job a month, that's not enough. You need some volume. Now, you don't want to cheap out and get every single little job for, you might make 25 bucks, obviously, but you need some type of lead volume to bring in the money volume. The next thing is exposure. That's the next input. How many people are seeing what you're doing? But if you're just starting or you haven't posted to your friends and family that you're going to be doing this, like lawn care pressure washing, nobody knows who you are, that you're even offering the service, or what you're even doing, okay? Who and how many volume, remember, are seeing what you're doing? Are you posting Facebook videos and time lapses, pictures before and after? You need exposure. Get your name out there, put yourself out there, let people know, get some volume by getting exposure. The next and probably most important input of our 4 inputs for local service business is review-based marketing. I don't know if you've been living under a rock, but since Amazon's been a thing, review-based marketing is kind of, people need to do business with people. Like, this is in their psyche. They do business with people they know, like, and trust. And if they don't know you or don't trust you, obviously they don't like you, they ain't gonna do business. But if they don't know you, they're gonna see other people's testimonies. And if they see a lot, they're gonna be like, okay, these people are trustworthy. Let's give them a call, let's give them a chance. Review-based marketing. You need to be messaging, calling your family and friends, even though you might not have done work for them, and have them leave a review. You need it, okay? This is one of the 4 major inputs of service-based businesses to even get off the ground. And if you don't have enough friends and family, maybe you don't know nobody, go out and you need to be knocking doors. And even if it's free is a very touchy word. I'm sure you guys have probably seen, like on TikTok or YouTube, like SB Mowing, SB Pressure Washing. He does stuff for free in exchange for reviews. But you should get your first 15 reviews, even if that means working for free, because that'll get you top 20 in the map pack, which you need to be. The very first step that you need to do is you do not need to file for an LLC. The biggest mistake when starting a business venture is they immediately go contact a lawyer to file an LLC or get online and file an LLC.
That is the biggest mistake you can possibly do. You need to first make sure it's going to be a thing and works, okay? And is going to happen. Because if you file an LLC, guess what? You have to file and pay money to get it destroyed, okay, once you're not doing it. The very first thing that you need to be doing is making a Google business profile. No, you do not have to have a business license. No, you do not have to have an LLC to do so. All right, so here we are at www.google.com/business. So what we're going to do right now is yours will say make a business. Basically, once you click, yours will not say manage. This is where I'm logged in. Yours will say register your business. And once you do that, you're going to go here. Now, once you're here, you'll just put in your business name, business category. Basically, you go through these steps. Let's just say pressure washing pros. Okay. Pressure washing service. Make sure you pick, if you're in pressure washing, do that one. Okay, we're going to go next. Do you want to add a location customers can visit, like a store or office? Now, where you're in the service-based business, unless you already have rented and leased a building, you're not going to have this. So no. We're going to put select your main areas of service. Let's say we're in Nashville, Tennessee. Click. And you would add cities that you would service, like Nashville, let's say Knoxville. Let's say we go from west to east Tennessee. Like our service area is huge, right? It obviously wouldn't be. Next, you would put in a phone number that people would contact. Now, you can use your personal phone number, and I believe you can change this in the future, but I would recommend honestly going and getting a prepaid number that you only use specifically for your business. Because if you're answering the phone, like somebody calls you, because I did this mistake. You know, this is my personal phone. It might be my dad or mom calling me from a number that I don't have them on here for, right? Or my woman. So I would answer and go, hello. And they would go, hey, do you offer pressure washing? It sounds so unprofessional. I'm telling you. Get you another phone. If your women don't like it, oh well, toss them. Get you another phone, prepaid phone. Doesn't have to be fancy, just something you can take calls on. Get a local number, and then when you answer it, you need to be coming up with, and this is obviously later down the line, not appropriate to this video, but I want to tell you this. Come up with a decent opening line like, hey, this is Pressure Washing Pros of Nashville. How can I help you? And then they'll be like, hey, yeah, we need our gutters cleaned. Immediately, they trust you more than just some guy going, hello? Oh, yeah, we offer pressure washing. Can I help you? Like, come on, man. You know what I mean? So, little nugget there. This address is going to ask you for your mailing address. And this is how they're going to verify that you're actually doing this. You're a real person. Okay. This address will not be open to the public. People seeing your business will not see this address. Okay. Do not use post office box. It says right here. You're going to put your street address, city, and state, and zip code. And what this does is this will verify that you are a real business. I'm going to click verify later, but they will send you something in the mail. Usually takes 5 to 10 days, you know, typical mail stuff. And then it'll tell you to go to a website, enter in the code on the mail that gets you verified and able to be shown on the map pack after you get so many reviews. Okay. Now, adding your services. Obviously, you're going to add everything and anything that you do. If you window clean, roof clean, soft wash cleaning, all the things. Okay. You want to add your services. You're going to pick your office hours. Now, this is very important because Google is implementing, this is a thing now, they're implementing an answer call rate because they realize that a lot of pressure washing companies, specifically in my industry anyway, do not pick up the phone. And this is true for all local service businesses. If you're going to have your name and number on here and have open 24 hours, you better be ready to wake up to a third shifter at 3 o'clock in the middle of the night, answer your phone professionally, and be ready to get a client. Okay. Put in hours that you will accept calls from. Okay. Very important because they have a system now that shows your answer rate. If you miss a call, it will go against you now. Okay. I had to learn this the hard way because I was on jobs, couldn't hear my phone doing stuff. I'd get back to the truck. Now I've been keeping my phone on me or wearing an earbud. I'm still answering my own phone. I'm not using an answering service. If you're going to be open 24 hours, use an answering service. I'm not affiliated with any of them. You just do a simple Google search. But it basically dropped my answer rate. There is an answer rate now for local businesses. All right, I'm going to skip this. You can accept messaging. You're going to add a business description. Do not skip it. You're going to add photos, which is very important. And we're going to skip the running Google ads. We're going to skip this. We're going to, it says your edits will be visible once public. Okay. Now that is basically how you make a Google business profile. You can see here it's done. You just have to verify it by putting in your address and waiting for the piece of mail. That's done. That's it. Step by step, that fast. Hopefully the video is not going to be too freaking long. All right, next step. And I want to tell you why we're doing Google before we even think about filing an LLC. This is the lifeblood of your business, okay? This is the lifeblood of the business. You can go a long time before becoming an official business, if you will, an official LLC. What I see most often is people that think that they need an LLC first are just they're procrastinating, okay? And they'll stay there for 5 to 6 months before they even do anything. They might have $1 million business idea that there might only be 3 people in their area that they could easily make $1 million doing, but they're like, you'll go back to them 5 months later and they'll be like, oh yeah, man, I'm still trying to file my LLC. There's always an excuse. They're procrastinating. They're not serious. If you're serious, you need to get feet on the ground, cleaning stuff, mowing stuff. You need to get going. Your first and only job is to get a paying client. That's your first no job. You need to make $1. All right, so after we've set up the Google Business Profile, now we're going to set up a Yelp page. Now, yes, believe it or not, people use Yelp a lot, especially the older generations of people. They are constantly on Yelp. I've never used Yelp. I'll never use Yelp. I use Google. But there are older ladies and gentlemen that use Yelp. So you want to be there. Remember, you need to be everywhere. Now, Yelp is another really good place to be for your service business because people actually search there for services. This also gives Google more reference points that you are an actual business with, which they'll also need, even if you verify via the piece of mail, but they will also check other places for your business name. Make sure you keep them the same, that those are reference points that, yeah, you are a real thing, and they will push you to people. And if you don't do this, if you only register for Google and nothing else, odds are after about a month, it will immediately get suspended. I'm just going to tell you up front right now. You need to do these steps. So make sure you're doing this. Hopefully you're doing it as you're following along, maybe pausing and then continuing. But yeah, we'll go from here. Now, being on Yelp and Google will both put you on the map. And if you did nothing else that we talk about in the entire rest of the video, you will still get customers from here. Here is basically where you want to go. Yelp. It's biz.yelp.com/claim. Hello, let's start with your business name. You type in your business name. Pressure Washing Pros, whatever. Continue. Yep. So it'll let us add it if it didn't find it on Google. It looks at Google first. Now, you put in your business email address. I'm not going to put anything here. Basically, you follow the steps. Okay, it's not difficult. I'm not getting spammed by Yelp to go through this with you unless you absolutely want me to. Then we can talk about one-on-one stuff, and I can help you with this stuff. But yeah, follow the steps. Go to Yelp. Go to the link. Get your business on Google first, then Yelp, and get this started. Get it rolling for the older gens. So here is a list after Yelp because I don't want to go over every single little place to go. The very first place after Google and Yelp is Facebook. I mean, you have to have a Facebook business page at this point, right? The next place after that is Angie's List. It used to be okay. Do not buy their ads, but I think you can register your business there. Still to this day, it has changed. Back then you could. Amazon Home Services. Now, this one I feel like it's going to be huge. It's not in every area yet. It's not in my area yet. But if it's in your area, you need to look this up. Go to Amazon Home Services, search that on Google. It'll take you right to it. Next place is Craigslist. You want to be posting on Craigslist. Now, for Craigslist, to post an ad, it is $5 a post. And I have this wrote down. Basically, it is $5 a post. You want to add a minimum of 3 to 5 before and after pictures to your Craigslist post. And by the fourth day, usually it gets posted to the second page of gigs and services. But you want to make sure that you are there as well, even if you just make one post for $5. Believe it or not, people still use Craigslist. Next place is going to be Home Advisor, which I think has became Angie's. I'm not sure about this. This is just places that I've registered in the past that you want to be everywhere. Next thing is Nextdoor app. You have to be here now. This is a requirement. Make free organic postings, and you will actually get a ton of business from Nextdoor in your little Nextdoor area because people know, like, and trust people. Once you start doing business for people that are on Nextdoor, they will recommend you to other people in Nextdoor, and you'll get a lot of business. Okay, for free. Bing Places for Business, Bloomcase, YellowPages.com, and Manta. People still use YellowPages.com. People still use Bing Places for Business. Not as much as Google and Yelp and Facebook, but people do use all of these apps. Make sure you go there. If they're no longer a thing, let me know. I have to remove them from the list, but these are the top 10 places after Google and Yelp to be. The idea of being at all these different places with your business name being the same is it gives you more reference points for not only Google, but for the customer that is searching for your services as well. You need to be everywhere. You need to be everywhere. Bottom line, there's no shortcutting it. Amazon Home Services, again, is a sleeper platform, but once it's in every area, I have a feeling that Amazon Home Services platform will be competing with Google and Facebook for sure. I mean, it's Amazon. They're going to put money into it. You know what I mean? All right. So the next place we're going to go is obviously Facebook. It was number 3 on the list. You're going to go to create a page. You're going to be logged into your personal, and you're going to create the business page under that. Now, I'm not going to go through all these steps: page name, category, bio. Make sure you put in a bio. Make sure the name matches the name on Google. This is where you're going to be posting your before and afters. You can share them to your personal page. Make sure you invite your whole friends list to like this page. You have to be on Facebook. I'm sorry if you don't trust Facebook, if you don't like Facebook. You need to be there. You got to be everywhere. Now, once a week, you'll want to be posting an update about the business, whether you're building equipment for your business, whether you're doing jobs, whether you're out putting out flyers. You can take a picture and be like, out throwing flyers out knocking doors. If I see you, I see you, whatever. That'll entice people to like your content, share your content, and all that good stuff. A sleeper thing, and you can do this with your business profile or you can do this with your personal profile. I do it with my personal profile because it builds a little bit more trust. Like, it's not just a spam business page. And a lot of Facebook groups won't allow you to join with a Facebook business page. But I join these neighborhood groups. I join these buy, sell, trade groups. I join these news groups, anywhere, business groups, real estate groups in my area. Join all these free groups. And obviously, you don't want to get in there and spam. But you can go in there, and I've landed many jobs this way. Post once a week. A lot of groups do have rules, like only post promotional posts on Monday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, what have you. So you want to make sure to have a posting schedule for that on those specific days so you don't get booted out of the group. Now, a big secret, I would say, for Facebook groups is going to these groups and be like if it's a local group that has like 20,000 people in it, you need a badge. When you first join, it's going to say you're new there. It'll say new to the group or whatever. You need to go in there and start conversation. And a good way to make a viral-ish post within that Facebook group is to say something like, hey guys, what's something you wish Nashville had that it doesn't already? You know what I mean? You just need to start some kind of discussion, and hopefully it reaches like 40 comments or something. You don't have to reply to none of them if you don't want to. I went down through there. I made one post one time in a group. I just joined, and I said, hey, I said exactly that. It got up to like 150 comments like that. I was like, holy crap. And it gave me a little badge that said top contributor. Very, very important, by the way. because that builds trust. It means you contribute to the group. We're going to be putting together a Softwash system. I call this the redneck Softwash system. This is your biggest expense, and really you just got to find the right fittings to put in these 1/2-inch ports. A lot of the stuff doesn't matter. I've just got a bunch of extra stuff that I'm going to do. You can get away with just a Gilmore gun, just a $13 2-pack of these cheap little water hose guns. We're going to be using a water hose coming out of this end, and we're going to use this suction hose coming out this end. I got to make a trip to Lowe's. This is where I got all this stuff besides the pump. I ordered that off Amazon, and I'll try to include links to everything. Basically, pump, suction hose, an outlet hose you're going to use, whether that's pressure washer hose or just a regular old garden hose. I'm using 100 foot of garden hose, and I'm basically going to be using 2 rainwater drums, just blue drums you can get off Facebook Marketplace, 10 bucks a piece. You don't need a big IBC tote. You don't need none of this junk starting off, okay? I'm going to tell you this first. We're going to be batch mixing. All right, guys, we're back at the house after making a run to Lowe's. Things you will need. And all this you can get at Lowe's, you can get on Amazon. It's really up to you. I'm going to link as much stuff as I can possibly link. One being the Everflow pump. This is the 5.5 gallon a minute. This is what it looks like. This is the box it comes in. Everflow, it's on Amazon. That's where I bought this one. 12 volt pump. That does mean you'll need a 12 volt battery. If you don't have, your car battery sitting around, you'll need to get one, 150 bucks, let's say. The best battery to get would be a Marine Life deep cycle battery. Tools you'll need, mine's a bit rusted, but some channel locks. You'll need some channel locks to help you tighten some of your fittings in. You'll need a universal ag sprayer wiring harness, and it has a switch on it. I think it's like 12 bucks on Amazon. This is what you're going to be putting onto your battery, and it hooks right in here to the pump. You don't have to do any wiring. It just hooks in. Very, very simple. You'll need that. You'll need some type of vinyl tubing. This is reinforced vinyl tubing. It is 5/8 inch. ID and OD is 7/8 inch. It's 10 foot long. This is what we're going to be sticking down into our batch mixture, or if you're using an IBC tote, you'll be sticking this down into your tanks that you're going to be drawing your batch out of. This is basically going to go on the suction end. It'll go on one of these fittings. I'll tell you what that is in just a second. You're going to need a few of these bad boys, hose clamps. These are like 98 cents at Lowe's. Just make sure it's big enough to go over your tubing, and you're going to tighten that down on your barb. And that leads us to the next thing, which is you'll need a barb and an adapter, a male adapter, 5/8 inch barb. You'll want to make it, as big as your tubing hole, because that's going to go into your tubing hole. You can get steel. You can also get poly. We might use the poly one today. I'm probably going to use the brass one. But it's this at Lowe's. It is 5/8 inch barb and 1/2 inch male adapter. The ports on your pump are 1/2 inch, both sides. So make sure whatever fittings you're getting, it's 1/2 inch. Now this is a fitting I found on Amazon where you can hook just a regular garden hose. You can screw in a garden hose here, and it'll go into this port. It's all outlined to go that way. So we're going to be spraying our mixture with a garden hose. I mean, it's super simple. So here's the barb. First thing we're going to do is we're going to put some Teflon tape on it. You can get this at Lowe's. It should be wherever this fitting is in Lowe's. It's usually where they have Teflon tape. They have it sitting right beside of it, usually. So now all we're going to do, we're going to tape our fitting. We're going to wrap some Teflon tape around the fitting. And just like that, we have our fitting Teflon taped up. It's not the greatest job, but you know what, it'll work. All right, now, all we're going to do is try to get close to the camera. We're just going to take this and we're going to screw him right into this hole right here. All right, now we have both of our fittings on our pump. I went ahead and put this on last night. Same thing that I just showed you here. Now what we got to do, you want to take your hose clamp, put that on first, okay? Well, you guys are like, duh, but you never know. You're just going to put that all the way down as far as you can go right there. And I don't have a screwdriver, so give me just a second. So I don't have my screwdriver with me. I don't feel like going out and getting it. 5/16 inch ratchet should do the trick. And all we're doing is simply tightening that down on that barb. There can be no leaks. There can, nothing's going to get outside of that barb. Basically, the only way it has out for the water is to get sucked into that pump and shot out the garden hose. When you get your suction hose on your pump, I'm coming in because it doesn't really pick up good audio outside. I went and got me some of this 1-inch PVC tubing. I cut it just above, I want it to go diagonal into the drum, and then I'm gonna run my suction hose through this to keep it straight and not coil up as it likes to do when it goes down in there. And it also holds it at the bottom of the tank. Now what I'm gonna do, a lot of people do this different. I'm gonna take 2 of these bad boys. It's probably gonna run it and make them rust like crazy. I'm gonna take 2 of these bad boys. I'm gonna put them both on the end like so, like opposite directions right here. And I'm gonna put them on the end of the suction hose once it comes out of the tubing to keep it from going back in and through the PVC. And that'll hold that suction hose down in there. And then I'm gonna cut the suction hose because you don't want a whole big lot. I'm gonna cut it where it's just enough to get to the pump, right? Like it's gonna get to the pump. All right, guys, and all we're doing here is I'm showing you that I've hooked it up to the battery I was charging before, and all we're gonna do is hit that switch I showed you that we used before, turn it on, and just like magic, it's working. Imagine that, the $300 Softwash system. Here's just a little test of me shooting the water out of it. It's trying to get primed up. I might have a little bit too big of a water hose for it. Probably needs 5/8 inch water hose. I wouldn't go any bigger than that. But yeah, guys, I mean, for a simple Softwash system, this can make you a ton of money, especially if you start getting up on roofs. All right, guys, so do you have a whole lot of reach with that setup? No. That garden hose is 100 foot. I filled the drum halfway up. The suction hose I do need to cut. It's actually a little bit too long. But for $300, you can get you a dolly. Take this ratchet, take that $10 drum, make your batch. Make a 5% batch for a roof is usually the standard. That would be about 30 gallons of water, about 25 gallons of bleach, 12.5%. That's how you make a 5% batch. So take that gold nugget. For using the rain barrel setup, take a strap, just any old strap. Strap it around the drum. I'm going to strap it around the dolly and move it wherever I need to move it. This is a super starter setup. By no means is it like the best Softwash rig. This is just a super simple setup. So if you don't have a Softwash system, you don't want to go out here and pay. I even think that the North Star or Softwash system that you can buy already made is like $500. So for $200 less, I didn't even spend $300. I'm just giving it that number. It's like 200 and something total by the time you buy the hose and everything. I mean, you're talking super freaking budget Softwash build right there. Batch mixing, 55 gallon drum to make a 5% very strong batch. That's 5% from using 12.5% bleach from a supplier is 30 gallons water, 25 gallons SH. Super simple, super easy. Little over half of water, and then the rest use the 12.5, and you should be golden. Hey guys, what's up? In today's video, we're going to talk about how to get and mix chemicals for your pressure washing business. Maybe you've never done it before. Maybe it's your first time mixing, say, bleach and getting a target percentage for a house, a driveway, a roof, whatever application. What we'll do is we'll start the video in here. I'll give you the equation you have to do. There is a little bit of math involved. You can do it on a calculator, okay? It's not that difficult. We'll do the equation here on the whiteboard. I'll break it down for you so you know exactly how to mix and get the appropriate mix for bleach. And then we're gonna go outside and then we're going to mix up a 2-gallon batch, very basic, simple. And it's going to be a roof wash or driveway cleaning. It's gonna be a 6% batch, and we're going to go and do that in a 2-gallon pump sprayer. So I don't want to hear you ain't got a big bulk tank, you ain't got this, you ain't got that. We're going to do it in a 2-gallon pump sprayer to really make it super simple for you guys. And sorry for the echo, we're in my studio basement area. There's nothing really in here besides this and a couple foam pads, but it'll get better once we go outside. So here it is, the bleach mixing formula. Okay, so the first thing we're going to need, the first number is going to be our target percentage bleach. This is what we want to get to. Like for a roof wash, you want 5 to 6%. You would put 6% here. Okay, does that make sense? That's our first number that we're going for is 6%. Okay, let's say for this specific equation that we're going to be doing on the beginning of the video today and outside is going to be for a roof wash. And our target is, of course, that 6% number that we want to get to, okay? All right, now I'm gonna have also a PDF you guys can go download for free at my school community, link in the first comment below this video. It's free to join. You go over there and there will be PDFs, quick start guides, chemical mixing guides, chemical for certain application guides for free you can download. And it's going to have every single percentage, target percentage that you need to get to for driveways, house washes, roof washing. So we want to get to our target percent of 6%, okay? The next number we're going to need, we're going to take our target percentage and divide that by our raw SH starting percentage. Does that make sense? So in this case, we will divide this by 12.5%. And this is going to be your bulk bleach, your commercial bleach, 12.5%. If you use Pool Essentials, I wouldn't recommend it, but if you're in a pinch, that's going to be 10%. So these numbers will change. We could do 10% if you want to. I actually think I have an old bottle of Pool Essentials we might use today for you guys. Pool Essentials you can get at Lowe's, Walmart. But it's so expensive. We'll do 10% just to make numbers simple, and I can put some use to that very old bleach in the other room. Okay, so we got 6% divided by 10%. Now hold on a minute, we need one more number. So the other number we needed is our tank size. In this case, an example we're going to be doing today outside in just a minute is a 2-gallon pump sprayer. Now, if you have a 55-gallon drum, you would put 55 gallon. If you have a 50-gallon tank, 30-gallon tank, you would put that here. Okay, so we have 6% divided by 10% times 2 gallons. So this is how you do basic math. For those that don't know, you times first or divide first. So we're going to do this first. Okay, so 6 divided by 10 is going to give you the number 0.6. Okay, now you're going to take that and you're going to times 0.6 times 2, which is going to give you 1.2 gallons of bleach. So this equation will give you, in today's example of the 2-gallon pump sprayer, we need to fill it with 1.2 gallons of bleach, and the rest of the 0.8 will be water, and that will give us our 6% mix. Okay, hopefully that makes sense. So now that we know how to do the equation, let's head outside and make this batch. All right guys, we're now outside. As you can see, this is gonna be how we mix and make that 6% mix. So we got our 2-gallon fill mark here, and we need to put about this much bleach right in here. Okay, this is the Pool Essentials 10%. You'll know because it says 10% right there, sodium hypochlorite. Okay, and there we are. I don't know if you can see it that well, but we're right at that 1.2 gallons of bleach. Now the next thing is Cody at Southeast Softwash's surfactant. This makes it cling to vertical surfaces better, and I like the smell of the cherry, so I'm still using his stuff. I also have used Apple Blossom. I think it's a generic product, but can't go wrong with surfactants. Just make sure you don't use Dawn dishwashing liquid. All right, now we need the water.
All right, and here we have our 6% roof wash or driveway cleaning batch mixed in a 2-gallon pump sprayer. Now all this has to do is put this on there and just start spraying with it. I'm not going to do that because I'm going to pour this in this 55-gallon drum. I am using 55-gallon drums, but this is the easy way to mix chemicals for your pressure washing business. You're going to be seeing me put together this skid. I have painted it. It is just a wooden skid out of plywood and 2x4s. Very basic. This is version 1 of the DIY cheaper budget build for a truck. You got your soft wash hose, pressure wash hose, garden hose. This is going to be the intro, and it's going to be time-lapse style, and I may do some voiceovers explaining, you know, why I put this stuff here like this. Basically, I'll just go ahead and tell you why I put these at the back. Is for ease of access. I can just stop, pull all these out, get them all straight pulled out, and then go to the house. First thing you do is you pull up passenger side facing the house you're working on or driveway. Pull your garden hose all the way to the customer spigot, and I only use that garden hose or that reel for storage, and then I unhook from that reel, hook straight into the pressure washer. I've also been doing that for this hose reel to reduce restriction. So basically I'm just using this reel for storage. 2 barrels, 1 water, 1 bleach, or batch mix. I'm batch mixing right now. This is version 1. Hope you enjoy this video. There will in the future be a second video for version 2 of this skid. I'm currently painting them right now. Painting some boards that I've been cutting up and measuring out. All 3 hose reels are going to be on the side of the truck all the way down. And that'll give me up all this room right here for a proportioner Softwash system. It'll be standing up against that, and then I will be plumbing those to hold on the bleach and water and not a batch mix of water and water together. Right now on version 1 to use the Softwash pump, I'm just picking it up and putting the drop stick down into the drum that I want to use for right now until I get it mounted somewhere. And the battery, I just sit over in that corner and plug up the switch to it. Every job doesn't take 2 minutes. All right, hope you enjoy this video.
Don't wanna sleep in, cause I got something to prove. I gotta take what I hate and finally make a move. I think of you and all the shit you don't do. Well, I'ma make hella sure that I don't become you. I have no regrets, yeah, I'll tie up my chest. I'll never forget what it's like to be in debt. Been stabbed in the back bed, I'll show you what happens. Pass me the mic and I'll show you with action. I feel this pain, you already know. Turn that to gains, let my money show. I've got these things that I can't let go. Watch me turn this life into something that you can never own. I feel this pain, you already know. Turn that to gains, let my money show. I've got these things that I can't let go. Watch me turn this life into something that you can never own. So fight and die for the things you know you love. Do what you think is right and see life do what you want. So fight and die for the things you know you love. Do what you think is right and see life do what you want. So give me all the scars, I'm a human being. Cover them with tattoos so you can't see. Knew it from the start, you had problems with me and the things I could be, I just wish I had seen. I feel this pain, you already know. Turn that to gains, let my money show. I've got these things that I can't let go. Watch me turn this life into something that you can never own. I feel this pain, you already know. Turn that to gains, let my money show. I've got these things that I can't let go. Watch me turn this life into something that you can never own. So fight and die for the things you know you love. Do what you think is right and see life do what you want. So fight and die
guys, so what I've done off camera is I've put the hose reels together. So I went ahead and pre-marked where the hose are. The hose are on the inside of the hose reel. That's where you can see it. You can see right there is 2 of them. There's also 2 right next to this. I went ahead and marked them with a screwdriver. We just got to drill these out using 5/16 bolts. Orienting these to have this one over here, the Softwash hose, right side. This one, I'm putting it on the left side because when I had it flipped around, it was just too close, and I know I'm gonna nick up my knuckles, so I'm gonna put it on the left side. It's getting pretty windy out here. Alright, basically, I'm just going to be putting these into the hole. Once I get them down, I'm going to put a little nut, like so, 5/16. And yeah, I'm going to start at the back. That way I can reach my hand under there and tighten the nut and then work my way forward. So I will see you guys in just a second. I'm going to go ahead and do that. Here is an explainer of my very simple but very effective, cheap truck skid build. Skid's made out of cheap plywood and some 2x4s. Got a pump sprayer for like F9 bark. I just put the wand down in the pressure washer. That's why I left it on the tires as well, so there's no vibrations in the motor, all that stuff, if you mount it directly to the plywood. That's trash I gotta throw away from the day. I had some leftover pool essentials and stuff. An iron hose reel. Now iron you cannot put bleach through, which is why I do not downstream at the moment, but if I were, this downstream does not work anymore. I would have to put on a new downstream here, bypass the reel, unhook from the reel, hook up to the downstream. Here is the Softwash hose, which is what I'm going to be doing right now today. And then there is a cheap garden hose reel, as you can tell. It is pretty much just for storage, and that is it. This is a stainless steel reel because we run bleach through it, so it will last longer. Not an iron reel. They look the same, but they are not swivels. Even though they will not move, they do not move. Yeah, I've been bypassing the reel, actually, less restriction. And then we got a bleach tank on the right and a water tank on the left. Bleach tank is a batch mix. That's pretty much it. Pretty simple. It's very nice to use. We're going to be going over, it's going to be calibration time. I usually take once a month to go through, calibrate the equipment, make sure everything's running great. Brand new heads on the surface cleaner, so I need to make sure that there's no leaks, nothing like that is a bug in the way. And I'm also going to be sharing with you the best #1 tool that you need to have on your guys' trucks or cars, whatever you're starting out of. But without this tool, you might as well not even boot it up. It's just such a pain. It makes everything easier, makes you more efficient on the jobs. This tool is a must-see. Stay tuned. We're gonna go ahead and get everything hooked up. You can just see all my tools. I just throw all the ladders over there. Here's everything you need. This will make you 10 grand a month. It don't look like much, but it'll make you some money. This is a must-have if you're going to do calibration. You need to know how much PSI you're pushing. Your goal should be, you don't want to be pushing 4,000 all the time, okay? You're going to damage a lot of stuff.
3,000 PSI, 3,200 PSI is plenty. So I actually turned my pressure washer down a little bit because it's that 4 gallon, it's like 4,000 PSI. But I actually turn it down a little bit to where I'm hovering right around the 3 just to be safe. And if I need more pressure, I can always turn it up. Once you damage something, there's no going back. All right, the next thing you're gonna need, and I go through a lot of these, okay? And look how hot it is. So I need a haircut. Freaking hot. All right, so I go through a lot of these ball valves. I go through a lot of them. They're DN10s. They're brass. I think it's covered. I don't think they make the stainless steel anymore. But I go through a lot of these, and this is why. Okay, I lose the nuts and everything and all that stuff. Here's one that I just made a video of, and I'm actually going to be just putting this in the truck as a backup. But now this bad boy, if I could go back and start all over, I wish these were out when I started, but they're a relatively recent invention, if you will. Check this monster out. The Corvettes of the car guy world. DN10 ball valve. It has a swivel built in. Look at that. I got this from Southeast Softwash. They make very good equipment, no matter if you agree with what they say, whatever. They're the best of the best. As right now, in my opinion, you know, they're the best of the best in terms of quality, longevity of things you buy from them. They're probably the best on the market at the moment in time, 2024. So Yamatic makes these guns and they advertise it as having a swivel. But what I noticed using this more and more in the field, anytime you're on the gun, this isn't going to move at all. It will lock up and stay still until you let off, then it's going to swivel, okay? That's what I've noticed the more and more I've used it. It's still a good gun, but I want something that as I am going, so let's put this bad boy on here. As I'm going, you know, when I'm off pressure, that's fine. That can be turning all of it. When I'm on pressure, actually on the gun, and I'm spraying, this swivel built into the ball valve here, that comes from Southeast Softwash, not this swivel. This one will still move under pressure, right? So as I'm going, instead of like having to let off, let this thing work itself out, get back on pressure, this ball valve is going to continue to move, okay? And I'll just be spraying and it'll be moving as I spray, right? See that? Okay? This one will not do that. This is going to lock in place while under pressure. Okay, so that is the number one must-have tool on your truck, on your rig, is a ball valve with a swivel on it at the gun. Like, you want the ball valve right before the gun, okay? Hopefully that makes sense. We're gonna go back out here and I'm probably gonna turn on like a time lapse or something. I can go through the rest of my tools if you want me to. Obviously you got your X-Jet, and this is one that I started with. I have beat this thing to death. Look how furred that is, where it's like rubbed the ground some maybe, and just like I have used this thing to death. It's going on its 4th full year, this right here. And this is, I got it off Amazon back in the day, man. Still going strong. Whenever I get another one, it will probably not have this that you can pull through. It's going to just be straight and then have a shooter tip, the 2-tip, the X-Jet or the M5 twist and the shooter tip combo. That's probably going to be my next setup here. But as of right now, man, I use this to rinse and it's a monster. Gosh almighty, I didn't realize how beat up that was. Golly. Okay, let's go out there. Let's start everything up. We're going to be calibrating. You want to know exactly how much you're shooting, you can get these off Amazon. It doesn't have to be a fancy one or anything like that. This one is, I'll try to link as much stuff as I can. This is M Mingle. They're pretty cheap, I think. You need a pressure gauge of any kind, as long as it can handle up to a lot of pressure. This one can handle up to 6,000 PSI. So there's no danger to me measuring my PSI with this. Okay, let's go back outside. Let's get started measuring everything. I'm gonna measure my PSI on the gun, and I'm gonna measure my PSI on the surface cleaner. And then my back patio, half of it I did not seal. We're gonna go ahead and clean it because I'm probably gonna get some super seal from Southeast Softwash to try out, instead of what I was using before that I had a ton of trouble with getting down, had to wait a full day, then come back and make sure it was completely covered. It's just a whole process. So I'm gonna try their seal next, and we're gonna clean today and then get some super seal and seal the other half of the concrete. Okay. Through the rest of the tools here, we have a turbo nozzle. Makes it really easy to clean the sides of concrete and in tight areas that you won't be able to fit your surface cleaner into. You got a J-rod of any type. This is a Southeast Softwash shooter tip I've had for 3-4 years. Still going strong. And then you've got your degree tips. This one also came from there, I'm pretty sure. You've got the number one tool that is a must-have is a ball valve with a swivel on it from Southeast Softwash. You've got a lance for those guys that like lances. Any lance I guess will do. I just got this, I think, from Amazon at one point in time. I use it for the turbo nozzle. Yeah. Obviously you got what we talked about inside, the M5 twist. Super handy. Every pressure washing truck needs one. And then you've got your guns. As long as you get a gun that has relatively low pull, it'll be all right. But this one, you have to pull farther. This was my first ever pressure washing gun. This one, it's less pull. I'll probably be upgrading soon. And you're gonna need, obviously, a pressure gauge and a downstream injector, depending on your gallon per minute. All right, I'm gonna get everything booted up here, and we're gonna start testing the pressure and wash that half of the concrete slab. When you're putting the pressure gauge on, make sure it comes before the ball valve. It's gonna be in line just like this. So even when you have the ball valve shut off, you can see how much pressure is built up after shutting it off. Okay, so once you shut this off, you'll be able to read your pressure. Way too high. It's like 4,500. But now it's a tad bit too low, so I'm gonna put that regulator up a little bit. Now we're right on the money at 3K. I'm gonna bump it up just a tad bit more. That's all you need right there.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you
Here's why the ball valve is the must-have tool. Watch this. I need to change over the gun. Instead of having to turn off the machine and do that.
wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. Everything I do so instinctive and so passionate. Every word I move so descriptive like an adjective. I got a vendetta against people who patented being negative.
That's why you need a ball valve from Southeast Softwash with the swivel on it. You see how easy it was for me to rinse there? I was able to turn my wrist and just do that. I didn't have to do the motion like this, like swinging. I'm just so used to doing that. It's just, I'm used to it. But another thing is carpal tunnel. Okay, my wrist, I don't know if you can hear that, but it's cracking. I have bad carpal tunnel. So to counteract that and to save my wrist, you need a swivel on your gun or whatever you're using. You need it to be able to move freely without you having to bend your wrist or keep it straight for a long time, especially if you're starting to develop carpal tunnel. Very serious, it hurts very bad. You have to do stretches for it if you get it. And I have a pretty severe case. Stainless ball valve from Southeast Softwash, #1 tool on the truck.
I was against debt. I'm kind of a Dave Ramsey fan in my personal finances. Personal debt and not being able to pay it off and all that stuff is bad, right? Besides mortgage, whatever. Business side of things, debt makes tons of sense. Like, why would you not? This is what I would recommend most people do instead of going through that part list and buying all those parts, having them all over the place, building a little skid out of wood, doing like I did. It gets to be a hassle because once stuff breaks and tears up or you didn't do something right, like you got to fix that and you don't know, like, right, like you're a beginner. I would recommend you get something like this, a mini Softwash aluminum skid from Southeast Softwash. And the reason why I like Southeast Softwash is because every one of them is made the exact same. I see other builders making skids and trailers like custom, and they're all different. And it's like, well, that just goes, that tells me that they have no SOP in place. That means that problems will arise from this trailer they're building right next to this trailer they're building. They're going to have two separate issues. And they'll be like, well, we put this hose up here in this corner, and then we put them on the back of this one, though. You know what I'm saying? Where Southeast and Cody have streamlined their process so much of building equipment that they're the same, which is what you want. You know what I'm saying? Like, you want them the same, because if you do have any trouble and you've read their manual, took their training on the skid or trailer, and you can't figure it out, and you message them, odds are they've come across the issue because they've built thousands of them, and they're all the same. And it's like, well, maybe check this. So you check it, and it's it, and it works. So it's like, oh, okay, nice, thanks. And you go on. So this is what I would recommend you buy. The payment on this is going to be about $250 a month, $300 a month. Now, reason why it's going to be $250 to $300 a month on a personal loan, well, it should be. My mower is going to be about $215 a month. It's $11,500. That's how I'm getting this number. That's why I'm thinking that's how it'll be. So you need to disregard this. The reason is because if you're going to be serious about this business, not only do you have skin in the game now because you have a monthly payment of, $250, $300 a month that you got to hit, which is one house wash. If you can land one house wash a month, you can pay the payment and break even on your equipment. That's why I think business debt is so good, because you can leverage the bank's $12,000, get this, and go out and, like, let's say you knock on doors every day, you do at least 500 homes a day, and you just start crushing it, making $5,000, $10,000 a month. That's probably what it would take, knocking on 500 doors a day or hiring somebody to do that, pay them commission. You could have this thing paid off if you wanted to in 6 months, 8 months time, or you could just keep paying the payment and you're leveraging the bank's money. That's what the rich talk about, like leveraging money, leverage. This is what that is, where you can leverage $12,000 and make $10,000 a month. It's $5,000 a month, $2,000 a month, and you pay $300. That's $1,700. House wash for me is $300 minimum. You land a roof cleaning for $1,500. I mean, you've just, how many, hold up. Let's do some quick math. I think that's 5 months, ain't it? So let's say you landed the roof wash for $1,500, just one, and your monthly payment's $300. You paid for your equipment for 5 months worth. That gives you to make a load of money just from one job. Okay, and I have videos of $1,500 roof washes that I didn't think, based on how the house looked and the customer, that they would have any money. So when I quoted, I was like, they're definitely going to say no, and they've said yes. Like, I've had to work on myself with my sales process that way, because that kind of jarred me. I was like, what the heck? Leverage money. Now, this is going to be efficient. It's going to be a lot of hand crank again. Now, if this is small for you and you'd rather pull a trailer, look into something like this. This is a mini, they call it the mini tank pressure washing and soft wash trailer. And I get no kickback for this. This is not a sponsored video. They are not sponsoring me for this. I'm just telling you my opinion. If I was starting tomorrow and let's say let's say I have my experience I have right now 5 years in. Somehow, like from that remote movie, somebody hit a rewind button and we went back there, but you kept your knowledge. Knowing what I know now, I would 100% take out a loan and get this at the bare minimum. I don't like pulling trailers. That's me personally. And also, when you hire employees, it's much easier to hire something like a skid because you don't have to worry about them hitting stuff with the trailer, nothing like that. That's why I don't like a trailer also, is because when you hire an employee and they have to pull a trailer, it makes everything that much more worrisome and difficult. I would go ahead and get this. It already has a proportioner on it, softwash set up. You got your tanks already set up, and tanks are freaking expensive, man. Tanks are expensive. And you got the Southeast Softwash support stuff. You got all this stuff already set up for you. All you have to do is buy a battery and you're good to go, right? If you like pulling trailers, I would probably get this smaller one if it was me. But most people go ahead and they get the big bad boy with the window cleaning. Like, it's like the total, like, all around build. And it's their staple build, I'm pretty sure. I would definitely get this if you would prefer a trailer and not have something in the bed of your truck, whatever. That's just me knowing what I know now. If I was starting yesterday, I would 100% take out a loan. This would probably be like $600, $700 a month. If you got decent, good credit, let's say it's a little bit more, $800 a month. You've got to at least get 4 house washes. That'll put you at 3, 6, 9, 12. That will put you at $1,200 a month revenue. That would pay for your payment. So you're going to need more jobs as you go up. That's why I recommend that you start with this on the high end, because this payment's going to be like $300 and you can get that in one job easy. And then when you start upselling stuff, you can turn it into an empire leveraging the bank's money.
Just got 3 things to say. God bless our troops. God bless America. And gentlemen, start your
Today we're going to be talking about the hottest new concrete sealer for you guys to upsell if you're doing pressure washing. The easiest, hottest new concrete sealing product on the market right now is sitting right here. Being in the pressure washing business, we clean a lot of concrete. And a lot of times the customer asks if we also seal concrete and why they should get it sealed. But mainly it's to prevent cracking and general erosion over time. And this hot new product lasts 5 to 10 years per application. Super Seal is the newest concrete sealer to hit the market, and it's a one-step process. And that makes me so excited because the sealer I was using, I actually have a pail left of it. It was a 2-step process, maybe even 3 you could say. You got to clean the concrete, and then you would have to wait a full 24-hour day for it to dry. So you have to have 2 back-to-back sunny days with no rain. Then you would apply the sealer, the other competitor sealer, and then you would have to come back and make sure it all self-leveled out, or you might have to do a little bit of cleaning and then reapplying in certain angles and spots if depending on the elevation of the concrete. This Super Seal made by Southeast Softwash, they really took that into consideration and made it a one-step application. After you get done cleaning, you put it in your pump sprayer of choice, you apply it, and then you're done. It self-levels everything. And you no longer have to wait a full day for the concrete to dry. You can wait up to 2 to 4 hours and be ready to apply your seal. So, what's that mean for contractors? That means you're no longer having to plan out a job for 2 days. That means you can plan your routes better and do multiple concrete seals and cleanings in one day. We're also going to talk about this sprayer I have here. This is a new sprayer. It is a 4-gallon backpack sprayer by Petratool, and I am not sponsored by Petratool. It is the Spray Daddy, as you can see. It is a battery-powered backpack sprayer, and it can shoot up to 100 psi. So very powerful little machine. The battery lasts a long time, and what's cool about it is it has a built-in filter when you pour stuff in, so it's going to catch anything that doesn't belong in there that's going to clog up the sprayer. And I'll include a video clip here of me using Super Seal in this. This is what I'm going to be using from now on. and I'll be sure to leave a link for that in the description or comments if you want to find that sprayer to be applying the seal. This is going to cut down on your pumping time as well as your spraying time because it's able to spray faster. And another cool thing, you can turn up or down depending on how much and how far you want to shoot. So if you don't need a whole big lot of application of your product in one spot, you can turn it down to low PSI and low pressure. Pretty cool machine. It's not too expensive. It's about the same price as a Chapin, which is a pump up sprayer stainless steel that I was using before. I will now be going with the backpack sprayer when I'm doing concrete sealing. If you're a homeowner DIYer, nothing against you guys. You can get your hands on this as well, and a pump sprayer of your choice. You can even go get the single gallon pump sprayer and do it that way. All you got to do is you got to clean the concrete. If you have a homeowner's pressure washer, your step 1 is cleaning the concrete. Step 2 is applying the seal after it dries about 2 to 4 hours. And your concrete will be protected with this concrete seal up to 5 to 10 years. Crazy value for what you're paying for the seal. I'm going to be doing a test of me using this seal. I want to see how far a gallon of this will go. I've heard very good things that it goes quite far for a single gallon. I know how much the competitors go as far as rate per gallon that you're going to get of coverage per square feet. If you're a professional in the pressure washing business or concrete sealing business or a DIY homeowner, the price range you can expect if you are a professional is about $1 minimum per square foot of applying the seal. I can get that in my area. Most people can get that in their areas to be very profitable. So if you're looking at a 3,000 square foot driveway, which is a pretty long driveway, I have done one that big and sealed it for this much. It comes out to $3,000. That will cover your cost of seal, and that'll leave you some profit at the end of the day. You can get rates as high as $1.50 depending on your area. But the lowest that I've been getting in my area isn't the most expensive area by no means. Is $1 per square foot. Now, if you're also doing the cleaning, you add on a 25 cents per square foot, and that'll get you to $1.25 with the cleaning and sealing together, making for a big ticket. Okay, we're gonna go do a bit of spraying of this seal. I have a half of my back patio that needs to be sealed, that the other half is not sealed. Before we sell this home. So I'm going to go and we're going to take this gallon. We're going to apply to the rest of that concrete. It was raining. Hopefully it's not raining. And I'll see you outside. Alright, that is it for the spraying of the half slab. I do have a concrete sealing job coming up where we're actually going to be using this product on someone's driveway. I'm just doing this for the video purpose of showing you how easy it is spraying it on, and then that's all you do. It's one step. You put it in the sprayer, you spray it, it's done. That's it. Now I just gotta let it dry, and that piece of concrete right there is sealed for 5 to 10 years. Kind of wild. All right, I wanted to show you the difference between the sealed concrete that we just sealed and unsealed concrete. So if you look here at my feet, it's getting windy on a storm's coming. All right, watch this. So we've literally let that seal dry about 4 hours. Check that out. Water cannot penetrate that now. It's deep penetrating, so it's like, that is sealed for 5 to 10 years. You can see it right there. Just sprayed it with water. This part is not sealed yet, and the back patio is. Just want to throw that in the video. Just to show you how easy it is to clean this concrete seal out of your pump sprayer so it doesn't gel up, which they say it doesn't. But I always clean my pump sprayers just to maintain them for longer, and I'm also going to be using mine to clean wood with, so I have to clean it out. If you're just using this to concrete seal for this pump sprayer only, you can leave it in there and it will work just fine, according to Southeast Office. So all we're going to do is fill this up with water. Now, once it's filled up, we're going to turn it on full blast. And we're just going to sit here and hold it down and shoot out all the water. Now, I will probably take out that fan tip here in a second after I make sure that it gets plenty of water ran through it and gets that out. I'm going to take that fan tip off and then really pump out that water. This is all you have to do if you're using your pump sprayer for different type of applications and products. If you're just putting seal in this pump sprayer or your pump sprayer, you can leave it in there. It will not gel up or get solid or anything like that. That's one of the benefits of this new product as well. All right, I'm going to finish cleaning this out, and I hope you guys have a great day and get out there and get after it. If you're a homeowner, go ahead and get that concrete sealed if you're doing this DIY, or be sure to call your local pressure washer or seal applicator. Peace out. It says dilute 1 part Wood Wizard to 4 parts water in a pump-up sprayer or similar application device. Spray liberally into aged wooden surface. Allow 20 minutes of dwell time. Reapply if solution dries during this dwell time, so keep it wet with chemical. To maintain continuous wetness, there you go. Rinse with a pressure washer using a white 40-degree tip. I'm probably not going to boot up the pressure washer, but I feel like it's still going to brighten up my fence a bit. So I just want to do a little test spot for this video for you guys. All right, we'll probably do it over there because that's the worst spot right there. Our little umbrella got him Velcro strapped up. Hostage, son. All right, let's mix this stuff. So 4-to-1 ratio in a 2-gallon pump-up sprayer is 0.4 gallons of this. So just under half of a gallon in a 2-gallon pump-up sprayer. There you go. Helped you out. Might have put a little bit too much in there, but we need 0.4 gallons. Right here's 0.5. And I'm maybe just above that of Wood Wizard. All right, let's fill it the rest of the way up with water. I think I did my math right. Before the NADA comes up there somewhere, we're gonna try it right here. Hang tight. Wind blowing in. Tornado coming. I'm out here making a video. I'd say if I booted up my pressure washer, that would literally come right off with if I followed the instructions, 40-degree tip. But yeah, I'm not starting with my pressure washer on my fence, but I will be doing I'll record a time lapse of me doing the customers tomorrow. You can already tell. That right there is lighting it up like crazy. I'm gonna let that sit a minute and see what it looks like. It probably not been 20 minutes. It's probably been like 15-ish. I'm gonna use the garden hose and just see what happens. But that is basically how you mix Wood Wizard. Did the math for you guys. All right, let's check it out. That was with the garden hose, not a pressure washer, by the way. Like, literally. Gilmore gun, son. Huh? Look at that. Look, it was that. I only treated the top half. Didn't even let it dwell 20 minutes like it said. It was that. Look at this. It's crazy. Could you imagine if I was using a 40 tip? That's crazy.
The chemical we use on this awesome transformation today is Wood Wizard by Southeast Softwash, mixed at a 4-to-1 ratio in the pump sprayer you see. I did this whole deck with exactly 1 gallon of Wood Wizard. It really goes a long way. This is about a 500 square foot deck, and you can really make the stuff go a long way, especially diluting it.
Use Markate, how to sign up, how to get yourself going, get yourself familiar with the CRM Markate. All right, guys, as you can see on the screen, we're at the Markate sign up, register your business page. So I'm going to be acting as if I'm signing up a lawn care service, because I've done pressure washing. I can name it something like Kentucky Pro Pressure Washing, whatever, but I'm actually going to sign up kind of like a lawn care business. We're just going to call it something like Kentucky Lawn Care Pros. So we'll do that. Kentucky Lawn Care Pros, something like that. I'm not going to show the email and phone here. Okay, so apparently it doesn't have lawn care services listed under primary service, which is a bit weird. Okay, we're just going to put handyman as a service since it doesn't have a lawn care service for whatever reason. So I'm going to go ahead and fill out the rest and then click sign up. It's going to be the email, phone number, and password. So after you verify the email, you enter in your phone number and you set your business name and make a password. This is where you're going to come to. This is the dashboard. It's basically an overview of how much money you've earned this month, how many jobs you've completed to date, total invoices that are due, total estimates that are pending, and you'll have a nice little profit loss here. Obviously, we're not going to have anything because this is a fresh Markate account. I'm making this video for you guys. Let's see, you got your messages up here. That's just from Markate support about welcoming you to the platform. So the most important tabs that you need to know is under sales. Okay, this is going to be where the first tab, my customers, this is going to be where you add your customers. So whenever you get a phone call, especially starting your new business, you're going to go ahead and you need to collect 4 pieces of information about the customer before the address, which will be the 5th. You need their first and last name, and you can, while you're on the phone or in person, usually on the phone, or if you have a form they fill out on Facebook or Google, they'll enter this in. But if you're on the phone, you can be like, hey, can I get your contact information to get started on your quote? And I would greatly appreciate that. Some people are picky. They'll only give you their phone number or their email. It's okay. You can do it with either or, but you want to be like, so we're going to make a fake person. We're going to name him something like John Smith. So here's John Smith. We've got his first and last name in there. Let's put John Smith at Gmail. So his email is johnsmith at Gmail, and we're going to put his phone number is just, 123 123 1234. But this is basically what you would do. Now, this is his mobile. If he has a different number, if he tells you if you can't contact him at this number, call his wife at this number, whatever, then you put that here. We do have preferred notification methods. I just leave it turned on both so they get it both places. And then whatever state, we'll just put Alaska because this is just a dummy person, just for the YouTube video. Here you can put in their birthdays if you want to send them birthday gifts, birthday cards, treat your customers well, aka you can add a picture here if you find them on Facebook or something. You don't have to do that. It's unnecessary information. The most important thing once you scroll down below the address is going to be if they have more than one address, here's the service addresses. If they have a bunch of rentals, you would add that here. Okay, and then you can make quotes per address if they're like a landlord. Customer source is going to be your next most important information. If you're on the phone or in person, you can be like, hey, where did you hear about us? Just so we know. They'll go, oh, I seen you on Facebook post. My friend so-and-so sent me. I got your flyer that you left on our door. Your team did. I seen you on Google Maps or Google Ad, whatever, or it's a referral website, whatever. You can put whatever. We'll put Google. You can put any comments. They cannot see these, so don't worry about that. This can be like what they need, deck wash, house wash, what have you, 1 acre yard, whatever. And then we'll hit the save button. Once you hit the save button, he is saved in your customer section. You can see here, and it sorts by alphabetical. The other thing I forgot, I skipped over this, is the group. So you can add a paying customer group. We can just put paying customers. And you can use this for when you send out emails, ringless voicemails, text blasts. You can put pressure washing customer. Okay, very useful. And you can check and uncheck these. You can put non-converted. This is actually when I have customer. This means that maybe they decline the estimate. If you want to send out emails or text blasts to the people that did not accept your estimate last year, you go into the next year, you just want to send people that haven't done business with you some form of marketing to their phone and email. Okay, that's why I have that there. Now, another one, you can add a new group. You can do lawn care if you offer multiple services. Christmas light customers, Christmas light customer. And then what you do here, say that this guy is a Christmas light customer and he is a paying customer. This is how I would check mark that. You see what I'm saying? Now, if he ends up buying pressure washing services from me, I'll also check mark this, because then I can send him marketing on Markate or through Markate the following year about this. If I only want to send it to pressure washing customers, he's going to get it. If I want to send it to lawn care customers, he's not going to get it. You see how that works? This is a very important portion of Markate that I want to get through to you. There's multiple things you can make on here. So we're going to save this. Now, the next thing, work orders are basically when they accept an estimate, it converts it to a work order. You schedule that work order, and then once you click it, and we'll get into that later in this tutorial, it'll auto convert into an invoice once you hit complete, and then it'll send that invoice to them, and then they pay through the invoice. But let me show you what to do next. So let's say you're doing an estimate. We scroll down here to estimates, create estimate. Now, here you have a couple options. A lot of you are just going to do standard estimate. I'm going to go through that first. We're going to do the job address. You can give it a job name. We can put house washing. Well, you can name it anything. It's going to have your estimate number here, an expiry date, so a date that this estimate will expire by. If it's if it expires 7 days, like here on my door hangers that I have for instant quotes, then I will, if they send me an email, I will put the 7th date in here, but usually it's defaulted to a month away or close to a month. Now, down here, we're going to put house wash, and you can get fancy with this. You can be like a gentle, soft wash on the home to ensure no damage. Just something, you can get real detailed in the descriptions. That really does actually help. You can also put, if you offer a warranty, 12-month clean guarantee, something like that. And then you can also, so this is quantity, or you can get paid hourly. You can get paid per linear foot, square foot, rooms. That's for more of a cleaning service, but we're going to do square foot. Let's say it's a 2,000 square foot house. Okay. And the price that we charge per square foot is going to be, let's just say 0.20 cents, the national average. Now, if you have taxes and you wanted to check with your state, mine, I have to charge 6% sales tax now, like legally. But if you don't do tax, that's fine. You just pay it out of your own pocket. 2,000 square foot house has a 20 cents per square foot price. You can set them a discount here. It's kind of up to you. It's going to be a $400 bill to them, and a $400 estimate. And you can request a deposit amount. This is really good for like Christmas lights. I request a 50% deposit to get on the schedule. I would be happy for the opportunity to work for you. This is default. You would obviously change this. Thank you so much for considering us as your pressure washing customer or company. Thank you so much for trusting us with the opportunity to work with you as your pressure washing company or as your lawn care company. Thank you so much for the opportunity to have the opportunity to hang your lights, something like that. Here's just a basic terms and conditions. You can get some made by a lawyer, or you can edit these. I edit the payment terms. I put, if there is a deposit, it is due before work will be scheduled, something like that. Just go through and read those. You can upload files. So if you have, if you use Google Earth and you mapped it out to show the square footage, you can screenshot that and then upload the file here as well, and he will see that. Now we're going to preview this. Now we don't have a logo here, but if you upload your logo, and I'll show you how to do that in just a second, it's going to appear here above the email and phone, which I'll have to blur that out. We're going to go ahead and submit that estimate, and you'll see here it's going to go to that email, and it just got sent. Now we're going to return to estimates. Let's go back to customers. Let's click on John Smith, and we're going to create a new estimate. And I'm going to show you there's an options estimate, but there's also packages estimate. And you can put best choice, best selling package, affordable package. So this is going to be like basic roof line Christmas lighting. The roof line and front facing ridge lines package. roof line, ridge lines. Let's just do a total roof package. And then you can have prices based on each one of them. If you have a minimum of $800 for the roof line, it'll be $800. And then, $1,500, and then $2,000, $3,000, what have you, however much it costs you for like a Christmas light hanging. And they can actually select which one instead of having the standard estimate, which we filled out here for just the house wash of $400. All right. So while we're over here on the customer tab, we're actually going to go over to underneath sales, and we're going to go down to estimates, and we're going to go down to settings. Okay. Now here you're going to upload your logo. I'm just going to upload the Pressure Washing Business Accelerator Program logo, which is our course that we just made or are in the process of making. And then you can have when the default expiry period will happen: 4 weeks, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. 4 weeks is usually fine. And once it's over with after 4 weeks, it'll mark it as lost. That basically means nobody could get in touch with nobody. Maybe you followed up with them, they just ghosted you. Here, I like to estimate template is I like to hide the business email. I do not like that. And then there is item discount. We don't want them to even think about discounts, okay, on the estimate. We just want the service, how many square feet it is, what the price is per square feet, and then the total. That's all you need. You don't want an item discount showing on there, okay? Okay. Now, estimate from business phone, office phone, if you have one, that's fine. And then we're going to hit save changes. So that's very important. I wanted to go over that. Now, estimates, let's say that this estimate got accepted. I'm going to hit mark as accepted. You can override yourself and do it manually if it's something like an older person that doesn't know how to hit the accept button on the email or text they get, and they're just like, yeah, let's do it. Hit accept. The only thing is, if you do it manually, they're not signing for work to be done because they actually have to sign on their phone once they hit that accept button. Okay, now we're going to show that it's accepted. Okay, accepted. What we'll have to do now is convert to a work order. Okay, converted to a work order. Now here it is. There's no checklist. You can make a checklist for employees. We're going to assign to us, and you can put in your schedule date. So let's say we're doing it tomorrow at 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. Notify the customer. You can do 12 hours before. That's what I usually do. 8 hours before, 12 hours, 24 hours. It's up to you. Date issued along with service type and job name, job description, blah, blah, blah. Marketing channel. You can put something there like Google. We're going to save this. Okay. Here is the work order. Profit margin 100%. You can add expenses if you want to, but it's not required. So schedule and assign. So, all right, looky here. You can send this to your Apple Calendar, Google Calendar, or Outlook Calendar. So now we're going to go to schedule. And as you can see, here it is. Now on your phone, what you'll do that next day is, I can't show you on my phone, but basically you get on the Markate mobile app, you hit schedule, and then this is going to show there. You're going to hit that. Okay, I'm going to try to explain this to you. You can hit arrival, and then it gives you a notification option to be like, hey, it has a default text thing that says, hey, Kentucky Lawn Pros is on their way. We will be there in, and then you select how many minutes it's going to take you, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. You can make a custom one. Then once you're there, you hit start work on that same page. After you arrive, you hit start, and then you go around, you do your process, you do your work. Then you hit complete. Once you hit complete, it automatically converts that into an invoice. Now I'm going to go ahead and manually do that here, but that is the process of how you would do that. Total due, we accept cash check, and we'll do PayPal, Venmo, just anything, Cash App, credit note, e-gift card. We don't do that. Credit card payments. We don't have this set up, but you would have this like that. I can't select it. But anyway, I'll show you how to set that up in just a second. We're going to preview, and then we're going to send invoice. This is how you do this manually, but obviously this is what it would look like on your phone after you complete the job, okay? Now we're going to go to invoices, and we're going to do, okay, it's going to show due. Now once they pay it, if they're giving you cash or check, you're going to hit record payment, okay? This is what you're going to do. And so most of the time it's a check. Say they wrote you a check for $450. You would put $400 as the invoice amount, and then you would put a tip of $50. And then you would they get to email the receipt too, so they can show that they paid it. Even if it's cash, unless you don't want that to show, then you would, not use a CRM. You wouldn't be an official business, right? So we're going to hit record payment, and it's going to show as paid. It's going to show that you have $400 paid, $400 invoice this year. Now, you can also record expenses and mileage. Okay, here's how you record mileage. You can add vendors if you're going to like a pressure washing store, gas station to get gas. You can add the customer on the day that it was for. You can add the work order that it was for. You can do either odometer reading and put the start reading and the end reading, or you can put distance traveled, which we'll just put 50 miles. And the rate of tax write-off is 67 cents per mile, which is $33.50. It's not always going to be as much as gas, but it's better than nothing. So we're going to save that. Okay, now look, we have so much mileage expenses. Let's say we spent, we're going to go here, we're going to put here, we're going to add a new vendor, pressure washing store, let's just say, and we're going to put spent on, add new category, chemicals, save. You can put bleach here. Let's say it was $40. Okay, and we're going to save that. You can upload receipts to it and all that good stuff. Now it's going to show that total expenses is $73.50. This is going to, your mileage is going to be your vehicle maintenance, gas, whatnot. But I always track everything, gas and everything. Expenses $40. So now if we go back to the dashboard, you can see earned this month $450. 101 job completed. You can see here it's breaking down your profit and expenses, right? $400 expenses, $73.50 because you don't add the tip in on that. It's a tip. Net profit is $326.50. See how that works right there? Awesome. Where you want to go from the dashboard is over here to the little settings icon, and you're going to want to set up if you plan on offering financing, it's through WiseTac on Markate. However, I do want to say that they will want you to be doing $150,000 a year revenue before they will approve you to offer financing. So this is kind of out of the reach for most people, especially watching this video and going through our course. The one that you want to set up is not Stripe, is not PayPal Venmo for right now. You want to set up Square. Okay. And the reason why is Square allows you to not only instant deposit to your bank if you need it right then and there, if you need the money, but also you can save their card information. So when they pay a 50% deposit on your Christmas light bill, once you hang them, you don't need anybody else there. They have already signed for the work, and you take pictures of it. You send it to them, be like, hey, I'm going to go ahead and charge the card. Thank you so much. And let me know if you need anything. Click. And you're paid. It's awesome. It is awesome. So make sure you go through Square. Go ahead and sign up for this, and make sure you check mark this box. Right here it is. Store customer cards on file. Now, if you're doing lawn care, this is huge because once you mow the yard each week, you hit pay, pull payment. Cha-ching, guess what? There is no waiting on payments. There is no waiting on nothing, including if you're doing pressure washing, which a lot of you probably are. There's no just waiting and waiting full 24, 48 hours to get paid. I've waited a week once before I had a customer finally pay me. I guess they were waiting on a paycheck. I had one go, sorry, my daughter has the credit card for like a week. And I was like, listen, lady, I just cleaned your roof. You need to pay up. So now I use Square on Markate, and I'm able to store that card once they do like a 50% deposit or whatever, and I get to manually extract that, whether they have it in the bank account or not. If they don't, guess what? That's on them. That's not our fault. They wanted the service. They agreed to the service. They need to pay for the service. You've got to kind of be, set your emotions aside, be like, oh, but that could be you one day. That, what, that doesn't matter. If they don't have the money, they don't need to be paying for the service. You need to have a way to manually pull that money. Click connect to Square, go through the process step by step. It tells you exactly what to do, put in your banking information, and you're set up. All right, guys, that's pretty much the walkthrough of how to get a customer's information, send them an estimate. Once it's approved, it'll become a work order, or you can convert it to a work order, schedule that for tomorrow, and then, or whenever, schedule that, then send them an invoice after it's done and completed, and then you're paid, and then you add your expenses. That's essentially the workflow. Now, I'm going to talk to you guys for a second about add-ons. Okay, the main things that you need to add on, in my opinion, is going to be ask for a review, which adds $10 a month. And then there is the virtual number, unless you're using already a second phone that's not your personal phone to take calls on and send messages on. You'll want the virtual number. And then once you have the virtual number, it's not worth anything unless you just want them to get a estimate from a number that you can't get calls or texts from. Then you want to set up call forwarding for this virtual number. So these kind of go hand in hand. I wish they were like together, but I see they probably have to have 10 apiece for both of them. Then you want to set this up to forward to your personal phone number. That way you're not using your personal phone number for your business stuff. Okay. All right. The next thing that you could consider, I had this at one point, is the lead contact form. Basically, they can go to your, let me see if it'll let me turn it on. Enable, manage, it will. Okay, so once you're here, this is kind of the copy paste here. You can copy and paste this to your Facebook page or in your post or whatever. But basically, they go here. This is what they see. You can adjust this how you want it. You can make different fields. Once they submit this, it goes here to your leads pipeline. You can have that. It's not necessary, especially if you're going to be making a website later down the road. So we're going to disable this. Some guys have been using proposal kits I've been seeing, but those are basically the top 4 in my opinion. You need these 2 for sure. This one definitely to automatically have it ask for reviews. And this thing will ask for reviews over and over and over. You link your review pages here, and then you can customize the review landing page. Invoices marked as paid and marked as completed, either one for asking for a review. Always do it as once the invoice is paid, because they could be a bad customer that's not going to pay you. You know what I'm saying? Now, it says here, notify customer one time. No, we're going to keep requesting, and we're going to get 3 notifications to them to get the review. Like, we're wanting this review. Okay. And then what they're going to do is they are going to be reviewing on Markate first, and then you can check it out. And if it's a bad review, it's not going to automatically be posted to your Google page. You can contact them, be like, hey, can we come back and fix this so we can get that review up to 5-star, 4-star, whatever, from a 1-star. And it's not going to show up on your Google page. Big hack here. Now, once you approve the review on that they leave on Markate, it will post that to your Google or your Facebook or your Yelp, Nextdoor, what have you. All right, that is the big ones right there. I'm going to turn this back off.